Hi folks, so welcome for the last time to the Battle for the Seven Kingdoms in 2026. We have crowned our new champions, or old champions as the case may be. Queen Elizabeth's Bastards have won in the final against Bastards Dragon Swords Mercenaries. It's 2-0 in the actual match, so there's one game still to be played. We're going to watch it now. And with me is one of our champions, Henry. Hello.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
How does it feel to win yet again?
Pretty good. Yeah, it's always nice to retain the title. I know you'd won it 2 years previously and tried to retain it last year. Me and Rupert lost to you in the final 2 years ago, so it's good to retain the title. I love this tournament.
Yeah, it's fun for sure, and we have one of the decks that everyone seems to have picked in action today. The Free Companies played by Mahler. So let's quickly check what the situation is. So first thing we always mention is the Morghulis versus the Harris. This one is a Morghulis deck. And do we have anything weird in this one? It has one copy of Shadow of the East, and it is up against Valyrian still, but only one summer plot that you can basically use to discard all the attachments. So is the plan, do you have a plan first of all, and is it to delay Late Summer Feast in case you get Shadow of the East and just go crazy on the attachments?
I think it will be. Also, the Valyrian Steel deck has one copy of Shadow of Late Summer's Feast as well. So if they don't start with it, but really, I also think MKC is quite good. If they put down a bunch of attachments, they can only keep 3 of them.
Yeah. From both sides we have that plot. We have Morghulis on both sides. And then the Valyrian Steel deck has just Econ, so it's quite confident it's gonna get their bigs into play, whether it's Khal Drogo or Barristan or Aegon. Put all the attachments that exist and just win the game that way. Of course, if with Toker, it's really difficult to beat that Voltron guy in a challenge. And with Rolly, he is repeatable saves to get through Morghulis. So there's some plan there, but we know that Free Companies introduces every challenger's phase in the mid to late game 3 new characters with 6 strength or something, so they can compete quite well as well. But no positive attachments, right? So if there's Tokar and the Voltron guy, whoever it is, defends, then difficult to get the renown on characters, I think.
It is, but there's some stealth. Um, Tyrion and Vargo taking stealth off Tyrion, so he'll probably just try and avoid the Voltron person. I do think the Free Companies is favored if it can avoid the rush in the early game. I think the Voltron, yeah, if they get a bunch of renown. I saw the semi-final with Barristan, and he was just going crazy. So we're going to try to avoid that.
Okay, so we are starting. Not much at stake. If Alejandro wins, he joins Francis at the top of the individual player list, for what that's worth, but I think he would be behind him on strength of schedule anyway. If people care about pavilion points, there's a few on offer here because it's a big tournament.
Yeah, and it's also playing for pride. Rupert has won every single cut game in team tournaments since we lost to you 2 years ago in 7K.
Hmm.
So Sara
That's
was the
quite
last person
impressive.
to
Huh?
beat him. Yeah, he's
So
very good in these cut games.
the whole World Cup, including some Champions games,
Hmm.
another Seven Kingdoms tournament in between. Yeah.
We're looking for the Marine Iron Bank start. Oh, that's a lovely setup.
No characters, and the character that's gonna take the attachments is Friedman. Ooh, it can't take it, so that's an illegal setup.
So he has to discard it, right?
Technically, okay, it's difficult to fix this on Iron Throne, but I think you just get it back into hand, and but he's already drawn up to 7, so
Yeah, I think you have to discard it because
yeah,
he's already seen his 7.
I think so. I don't know if there's an official ruling on this situation. It's not on in the rules, but it might be in the tournament regulations or something like that.
Hmm.
There
I don't think
are
Alejandro is going to concede.
there markets in this one? Or do they famously have
Uh,
very few markets, but I'm not sure if maybe this deck has it because it has 3 gifts events, so it'd be useful
hmm.
to be able to put attachments back.
Yeah, no markets in either deck. I just had a quick look. Markets are really good against free companies. In my match yesterday, markets are just good for removing those Second Sons and Tyrion targets.
Yeah, that's now permanently gone. I mean, that was a good attachment. It's key, particularly on Matkin's command as well.
Hmm. Let's see if Rupert has a unbridled generosity in hand as well.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay. Shadow the East plans are now gone pretty much for the rest of the game.
Hmm.
I mean, you can still hit one attachment, the key one, I guess, like a Tokar.
Ah, he does have the unbridled generosity.
Of course. So we go up to
Un
4 immediately.
Yep, it's pretty much the Arbor at this point.
It's a pretty horrendous start for Alejandro, to be fair, on the other side, but he did play Late Summer Feast clearly with the intention of getting something decent.
Hmm. What could that shadow card be? He runs quite a few shadow cards. Could be an attachment or an Aegon.
Presumably has the merchants as well.
Hmm. Interestingly, Alejandro's deck runs one copy of Tyrion, so he could steal Rupert's Mercenaries if that comes up.
I always think it's a bit dodgy when this starts happening. Noble Lineage on the reducer just to draw, but it might not mean anything. So Baristan does come into play.
Hmm.
Unprotected with the econ plot already gone.
Yeah. With Rupert opening Late Summer's Feast here, he probably has in hand either Tyrion or Vargo. I would imagine. He doesn't normally Late Summer's Feast until he can get Vargo down.
Okay, 2 gold remaining now. Baristan cannot take bodyguard, by the way, so there's no real way to keep him alive.
Yeah. I've got to say, throughout this tournament, Rupert's marine pulls have been pretty insane. So we'll see if he can keep that up.
Yeah, that game against Reinhardt looked like
Hmm.
it would swing against him, but didn't.
Yep.
It looks like nothing's coming into play.
Yeah. He's probably just going to VM and just hold everything in shadows, keep everything in hand.
Okay, so this event in marshalling, how does this work? Harry comes into play at the end of the phase. We go to hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, so it should really be gone, right? This doesn't really work correctly on the Iron Throne, but it's Marine and Harry going to hand have the same timing, and first player would choose, so you get Harry into hand first and then he's discarded. If you are sharp enough
Okay.
to see this, I think. Unless
Mm.
I
He does.
misread it.
He doesn't have enough gold to once he brings Aegon into play to bestow Tyrion, and then bring another character into play. So
Yeah, he is sharp enough to see that. Yeah, now they were aware of this interaction because it happened in one of the previous rounds. I think it was against Mates where this interaction happened, and it didn't resolve correctly. Then I didn't spot it when I was recording. But after the game, I think that one was pretty one-sided and wasn't going to matter that much. Not sure if it matters here. It's too early to say.
mhm.
Depends how much damage is gonna be done with the Morgulis play, which is clearly coming.
Mhm. You got Tyrion out of his hand with the intrigue challenge, which is pretty big. Yeah, this if he does have Shadow of the East as one of his two shadow cards, I think he really just wants to hold that for Seized by the Guard on the Iron Bank. It's pretty much as long as he can keep his econ alive with Iron Bank, he should really be fine. So just holding that Shadow of the East for the seized. I believe Alejandro runs one copy of it. He does. So
Yeah, although if it's in shadows now, you can. It goes back to hand. You can do it in taxation, I guess.
mhm.
Yeah. So Water Dancer Sword, which is repeatable agenda triggers.
Of course, this is risky because Alejandro might make himself first player and then put the Seized by the Guard on. Um, it obviously can be removed, but he will not get that for additional gold from the Iron Bank.
I mean, he will have nothing basically if Iron Bank gets seized. He would have the 2 gold, which is enough to put Shadow of the East in shadow, so it's a wasted round.
Mhm.
Well, King's Road's there, I guess. And 1 gold from this now. Which makes a difference, because I found in these games against the Free Companies deck that they have unlimited econ in marshalling phase because of the Iron Bank, but the actual gold they carry into challenges is sometimes capped at 3 even on Matkins command. That's enough for 1 shadow card. You can't rely on unlimited gold on the Iron Bank to have Aegon and Harry trigger in challenges sometimes.
Yep. It's why you see a lot of Free Companies players bestow either nothing or only 1 gold on most cards. Um, they really like to keep the bank topped up as much as possible.
And Alejandro just going to marshal whatever else he has now. He didn't play any of the anti-Morgulis options. I assume he has Return to the Fields, or at least March, right?
I don't think no return to the fields.
Okay, so he'd have to
Uh,
march himself on an empty board for the opponent, which is a bit awkward. So fair enough.
no, no marched either. It's
Oh, okay.
at the gates, Late Summer's Feast, 2 times loan, Mad King's Command, Morgulis, and You Win or You Die.
So it's always kind of inevitable. And just has to dig himself out of trouble now. This is a good start, but something else needs to come in, I think.
hmm He's obviously Rupert's deck runs marched. Probably a black market merchant in shadows, maybe.
Yeah, could hope to find a seal of the hand or something. Mercenary contract maybe. Still goes for draw.
Ooh.
Okay, so does the 3 gold stay? So 2 Mad King's commands, which means that holding on to a King's Road also is not always ideal.
Yep. And if you see of Bloods that Tokar, you'll have enough strength as Second Sons to beat Khal Drogo in a challenge.
Okay, so this is blind now. Three cards could be useful, could be less useful. Okay, so we have 2 Second Sons in the Discrep Isle and a bunch of mercenaries for later.
Yep. It's probably Aegon in shadows as well. If only there was a way of getting to sacrifice the freedman, because Dario can steal that.
Okay, it's just gonna focus on defending that one military first of all.
Mhm.
Presumably Golden Company then is gonna save itself.
Yep.
And what does Haraldon hit? Almost whatever hits is gonna be useful in some way. Oh, okay, event.
Mm-hmm. It's now going to be really tough for Alejandro to push challenges through.
Okay, it's gonna grab the renown and then presumably dominance with Aegon. And Second Son's not gonna be saved in any way. You wouldn't want that. And I suspect Unbridled might be played before taxation.
Yep. Could be thinking about what plot to play next. Probably a loan from Alejandro. She's going to try and flood the board to push these challenges through.
Okay, Econ plot. Has he finally found something more impactful?
Yeah. Alejandro needs to find a bodyguard or a dupe for Khal Drogo to give himself a good chance at a Morghulis here.
Yeah, although at the moment it's not hitting that well, honestly. Most things would still be alive. I think he's gonna draw some more. So Shadow of the East we still have in rotation, right?
Yeah, Shadow of the East is still in hand.
So Tokar is one of the better attachments that you can get into play. Gives him half a chance to push challenges through. If that's discarded, I think his chance kind of gone. But there's the Tyrion.
Oh.
Now he's first player and he interacts with both discard piles. Well, good targets all around, honestly.
Rupert's deck does run one copy of Milk, and I've seen him multiple times get that off his Marine pool, so I think Rupert will dig for it. And no Shadow of the East on Alejandro's side, so.
Keeps 5. Faction cards still standing, of course, for the event. Okay. What's the plan here? Okay. So that does that interact with events? Yeah, so you can cancel Shadow of the East by kneeling Friedman. That's actually pretty nice. It's proven to be quite a good card, this Candle in the Dark. We played against this deck with our Terrell Filthy, which had a lot of shadows, and just that being in rotation round 1 was just made it impossible to do anything. But you can bait it to kneel, I guess. I mean, shadow triggers are pretty decent here. Spends the gold. Okay, so can anything come into play with the dupe? Not yet. And Nightmares is gone for Mirin, so that could have been a good card. Didn't keep the gold anyway though.
Thankfully, he doesn't have a Vargo in his discard pile for Tyrion to steal.
As this guy though, I was looking at him, makes it really awkward. You just declare the military or something, and forces him to bring out the characters that can potentially defend.
Mm-hmm.
So, which challenge is it gonna be? Military or power here?
If he does military, he has to attack with Drogo, and he can just defend it before Drogo even attacks.
Yeah, I can't exactly do any surprises with that, so I think maybe power first.
Mhm.
Okay, doesn't bother at all. So, is there pinch? Not that it does anything that great. Okay,
Yeah, there is
just
a pinch,
gonna grab
but
his
not
set.
not. Interesting not to attack with Khal Drogo there for the stand and renown. Unless he has exactly 4 gold to spend, I'm surprised he didn't push with Drogo. Mercenary contract could work against him, by the way, with Dario in play.
Yeah, especially if he has a few power already and can't really defend on the intrigue challenge that well. By the way, no time
Mm-hmm.
limit on this one. There should have been.
Yeah. Think you put a gold on Shagwell here and defend. To see you run. Oh, no gold. Not defending with both.
Hmm.
Oof. It's a big loss. He has Vargo in hand, so he can just play him.
It was Harry. Okay. So standing the stealth body. Now Drogo should be able to win with Tyrion, right?
Mm-hmm. Again, he's got to be careful stacking power on these mercenary characters. Because Dario could come in for a massive swing later on. I think this is going to be MKC from Rupert. Next plot. So he'll probably just defend with brave companions and kill them here. No, he doesn't defend.
Is there any value in the second military? So we have 12 on attack now. Not exactly enough. Plus Plaza still there.
Mm-hmm.
Does it anyway. Not the best village.
No.
Okay, and I assume Friedman won't kneel. That gets free button gold, that's quite convenient. And takes the king's road, fair enough. Mm. He triggers it, I was just gonna ask, is he gonna do that? He has another econ plot, but would be better to do that after Matkins' command, I think.
Yeah.
Ah, he goes military, so that will kill this Ono surely. He was gone anyway, goes to the bottom.
I think Rupert plays Mad King's command here, and if that's another Aegon in shadows, Alejandro is forced to carry through both Friedman and Candle in the Dark for MKC.
Yeah,
Which means he can't really play much.
unless if he goes first, he could keep the attachment and then use first action to put it back. It's a bit of a waste though. So has 3 on Drogo. Okay, Vanguard leader's not really doing that much, but it's a basically +2 with Tucker.
Yeah. I think Rupert will probably MKC and then put Vargo down with full gold and look to go first. Does Alejandro play you win or you die here? I think that's his best plot. Only one that can go first. I don't think he wants to Morgulis here. And if he plays alone and he doesn't get any shadow cards like Shadow Aegon, the king version, he's just gonna have to do nothing with his hand.
Well, going to
Yeah,
see
I don't
some.
think. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think this time Mother keeps all 5 gold for challenges probably. Okay, so these 3 bodies, assuming Aegon goes, will not do so. Something better has to come in, I think.
If Rupert doesn't marshal Vargo first action, I think he should Tyrion the Vargo in Rupert's discard pile.
Ah, well. Okay, you can choose not
Oh,
to keep mercenary contract, I guess, now.
yeah, but he can steal Friedman ally as well, and obviously Harry.
Yeah. It's impossible to play this, I think, this Matkins command in a way to not leave anything there that Vargo can take.
Oh, also Rupert can select the mercenary contract.
He could, yes.
Oof.
If he's wasting this 11 gold and then the rest of the game is played with -2, I don't think he can recover. Sweet sleep. Okay, just to drop presumably. Okay,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
better than it looked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm. What does he keep? This is quite complicated. Tyrion on the other side is making this quite an interesting.
Yeah. Does he keep Friedman?
I think he has to keep Friedman.
I mean, no problem if there's another Harry in Shadows. Okay, so Golden Company,
I
Dalian,
think.
Brave Companions. He does keep mercenary contract from the other side.
Mm-hmm. I
Plaza's gone.
think. Which means he can't stand Dario. Steal twice. I mean, he can't stand Dario with Plaza. I think Rupert wants to bring in Aegon first action to bring Vargo into play. Or even bring Tyrion into play, actually. So he might have to cancel that, and then Rupert can Shadow of the East. Let's see what stays on the board. He does keep Candle.
Okay, so
Nightmare's first action on Tyrion. It's pretty big.
yeah.
Alejandro missed that Rupert had kept mercenary contract, so he could have kept another attachment. Oof.
Yeah,
Seized by the guard.
the Vanguard leader, I suppose. Would have made some difference, but still, the challenge that's tricky is the intrigue here. Okay, so second son's not coming in basically, right? Nothing else was there.
Mm-hmm.
trigger the attachment. Need attach character.
It's probably Harry in Shadows then, if he's asking that, because I imagine he wants to steal both Drogo and the Freedman.
So how much would that be? 11 on the intrigue. Okay, just goes military. Is there Harry from the other side? Because that would also be... well, it wouldn't be enough actually.
Does he run a copy of Sirio's training? I don't think that would be enough either. He does run it, but it would be 14 to 14.
So it could be merchant coming in with a mystery attachment. But yeah, that Vanguard leader that could have been kept actually. It's quite important because with Harry you would then have enough.
Mm-hmm. This is rough. Taking control of Drogo. I think he needs to bring a merchant in from the shadows for claim.
He did have Harry. But what's the plan here? Is it genuinely to take Friedman now? No, it's gonna
No,
take
it's...
Drogo, okay.
Yeah, I think he has his own Harry in Shadows.
And he can now get renown also because Drogo's not in the challenge anymore. He doesn't particularly want to kill that Friedman, I think. It's a rough situation. Still has the Morgulis play, but now it leaves Dario alive. With 2 loans in the used pile. Nightmares was a good last card.
It was. Being first player is also key as well. I think you have to claim Harry here, right? But who do you claim for the second military?
Ooh.
Ooh.
He
Wait, can he win? Military unopposed renown. Harry comes into play for... Oh, if he stands... Oh no, mercenary contract is for Alejandro to you, but this is 3 power, and Harry is lethal, I think.
Is it 3? It's 2 here, right? Unopposed and renown. So
Oh yeah, sorry,
that would
unopposed.
be
Never
12,
mind.
and then he has power with renown, but that would be opposed.
But if he has Shadow of the East, he can Shadow of the East the attachment first to either force the kneel or to discard it from play and then bring Harry in to stand Dario for an
Yeah,
extra renown.
and that would do it, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think you have to kill Tyrion here.
Still one mystery card in Shadows. So the card 1 was Harry.
Oh,
This card 2.
oh, you had to Shadow of the East first, I think. Ah, it wouldn't have mattered.
Well, it would be a win, right? Aegon can find Harry, and Harry still triggers, I think.
But he cancelled the find.
Yes, but if he discarded the attachment first.
Yeah. But if he discarded the attachment first, he would just have done the same thing, which is cancel the stand and then restand Friedman.
Ah, okay, and
Cancel
there's no
Aegon.
limit on this. Okay.
Right? There is no limit? Yep.
So we're going another round, and Drogo comes back on the other side with his renown, which he took on purpose here.
Yep. I think Alejandro has to play You Win or You Die into Marched.
Although Morghulis does lose 3 power from the Golden Company.
Yeah, but I don't think you have any comeback potential.
No. And there is Marine, it will find a character, I think, and
Yeah.
Dario alone will just win it regardless.
And he also he can Shadow of the East the Seized by the Guard in the plot phase after he marches here.
There we are. 12-7, still not completely one-sided, even though it's going really well for free companies. So if it wasn't for that really horrible start with the illegal setup as well, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 75 cards and Morghulis on both sides. You have to find the dupes. Might concede in the draw phase if nothing good happens.
He doesn't get anything good. Infinite gold for Marine. So he can play down pretty much anything. If he finds a Tyrion, a Vargo, it's all going to be pretty difficult.
It's not gonna survive the round, but it is some kind of chance. If that happened earlier, well. Ah. Well, he's too far away from victory to pose any threat really. Although you don't want Dario to trigger, you defend him if you could, I guess.
Yeah, if he stole Second Sons, he can. Ah. you've got a Marine here, surely. Hopefully he finds something that's not in a dead pile.
And one copy of this event, which most decks have cut now beneath the gold, the bitter still. And okay, Dario's not triggering in a million years over this.
Oh, seized by the guard on Plaza. It's probably the last straw. Another nice Marine pull from Rupert. And there's the concede.
So it's a nice comfortable 3-0 in the final. Makes it easier on the players if you lose 3-0, I think, so that you can't really blame anyone.
Yeah.
If you lose 2-1, then everyone is thinking, okay, if only I'd done slightly better in my game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was a good final in all the games. Okay, they didn't prove to be that interesting, some of them, but all could have gone either way on the matchup alone, I think.
Yeah. I think this game here was, I think, the easiest of our games on paper, but all of them were very close in practice. It did a lot come down to just how the setups were and how the draw went.
Yeah, I mean, you called it on the setup, right? Iron Bank and Mirin, they were there. Plus Unbridled was already in hand, so. And yeah, Tyrion made it interesting, but even that, I mean, Nightmares at the exact right time. And
Yeah.
Candle, really nice actually. You don't see it much, okay, it hasn't been out that long, and we are focusing on this one tournament where you don't see all the stuff that you would normally. But it's an interesting card to counter some of the shadow stuff. I guess if it's really completely dedicated to shadows, then you can't really cancel everything. But just decks that rely on a few key triggers, and that thing is like a grey wind always.
Mm-hmm. I think if Alejandro kept Vanguard leader, I think he probably wins this game. I mean, it would have been close, but I mean, I don't know for certain, but he would have had enough to defend that military challenge.
I mean, he gets a better round, yeah, but winning, I mean, it's not that close, so I'm not sure.
But it was good. It was nice. That Candle in the Dark was doing work, shutting Rupert down.
Yeah, so there we are, 3-0 in the final, and that's it for this tournament. So next up is the World Cup. So anyone who is not in that one, you should be. So get your country to play. We have I don't know how many teams. I think something like 11 at the moment, but some are not registered that usually play, and I would expect them to play. So we're looking for somewhere between 15 and 20 in the end, as in previous years. So that's coming up next.
Mm-hmm. Look forward to it. Hopefully we can win the World Cup this year. I've never won it.
Yeah, I have not won it either. It's difficult. I mean, the USA team, for instance, every game is against a Tom McKenzie or a Alejandro type of opponent. And I think with China also, Catalonia really strong. And then all the teams just below, Austria, France, and teams like that. Good players everywhere you look, so it's gonna be rough. And yeah, it also you see surprises in the World Cup sometimes as well. We saw last year Norway. I judge their decks not to be that good, and the players also you cannot really argue are on the level of something like China for the most part. But you can get results if you really dedicated, practice all the matchups and stuff like that, and you have a good team spirit. So anyone can do well, I think. So yes, thank you, Henry, for joining me, and congratulations once again for taking the title.
Thank you very much. We'll be back next year to try and retain it again. Different faction, of course.
Yeah, hopefully I am there also to try to spoil that plan. And thank you everyone for watching this cut of the Battle for the Seven Kingdoms with us, and see you next time.